this video, again, we're starting off at a Windows login screen to show that there is a Windows drive actually connected. Again, this is the exact same experience you'll get if you boot to a live CD on a Windows computer, or if you have Linux installed on a computer, and if you connect the Windows drive as a secondary device on the motherboard. We're going to restart the operating system now, and we're going to boot into a Ubuntu live CD. This is just a touch slower than the real install, so if speed is a major concern, I really suggest you have either a dual boot installed or you have it installed as the native operating system on that computer. With that said, Linux is actually surprisingly up to date and surprisingly competent with the ability to run antivirus scanners on Windows computers. Now, I will say one of my core beliefs, and I think it's getting stronger every time I see a nasty infection on a Windows computer, is you really have to get outside of the operating system to get a true unbiased scan on the computer. This first screen that pops up, we're just going to hit try Ubuntu, not install Ubuntu. It's kind of like when you go to a doctor's office, the doctor might ask you what's wrong, but he doesn't take that as the final answer. He, on the outside of your body, looks at it to give his final result, his final answer. And I kind of feel the same way about a infected computer. From inside the infected computer, it's too easy for rootkits to hide, and it's too easy for other tools to manipulate what you're getting as an output on like a file scan. So I really like to scan from inside a Linux operating system. And all the tools that we use for boot scanning operating systems, whether it's the AVG boot scanner, the Kaspersky boot scanner, Bitdefender, Dr. Web, the list kind of goes on and on. They're all actually running Linux. One thing I heavily encourage is that you are hardwired into the internet. Again, for speed. Speed is really the major reason to do that. Secondly, to ensure there's no issue with any wireless drivers. It's not close to as frequent as it used to be, but it is still possible. You get this upgrade, always hit do not upgrade. Hit OK. Okay, the first tool I'm going to go over is actually a installable package. And the tool we're going to install is called ClamAV. Now, first thing we have to do is load Synaptic Package Manager by going from the main menu up here, System, Administration, and then Synaptic Package Manager. Once that's open, then you have to go to Settings and Repositories. This is going to basically allow us to get more software on the computer from this system. Right now, there's only 7,300 packages available. Go ahead and click Universe and Multiverse and then hit Close. We get a warning message saying we have to reload our list of packages. Go ahead and hit Reload. In a live CD, this is essentially the first time it's ever been ran on this system because it's a live environment. And we just added a whole bunch of extra things to be downloadable. So this does take a minute or so. I will say, ClamAV constantly rates around 78 to 82% accuracy in detection and removal, and in all honesty, that's not bad. Most infections people get seem to be older infections, and those infections are very easy to get rid of. And if you know infections, they never come in ones. They always come in 4s or 5s, because the first thing an infection does is it contacts a server and downloads more infections. Okay, to pick the software to install, let's go ahead into the search box in the top right and type ClamAV, hit enter. And the name of the tool that we're actually looking for is called ClamTK. And this is basically a GUI front end for ClamAV. So we just go down, we click ClamTK, hit the little star next to it, hit mark for installation. Now this package requires other packages to be installed, so it automatically selects these to also download and install. We just hit mark, Then we hit apply, and it tells us there's 15 things that's actually going to be installed. Go ahead and hit OK. What it basically does, the Linux applications are like tree nodes of modularized components. Everything's in little bits and pieces because everything else can use it. With ClamAV, this is a live system. We have to download 15 different pieces to complete the package of ClamTK. It's not going to take too long, only a couple seconds. Once this is done, you can go ahead and hit close. We can then hit close again from this menu. As soon as that's done. Okay, now to actually run ClamAV, simply go to your applications menu and then to accessories. All the way down at the bottom should be virus scanner. Typically in the Linux world, things are named more on their function rather than their branding. Do not worry if it says the antivirus engine and the GUI version is out of date. In the Ubuntu world, technically speaking, most software is slightly behind the bleeding edge. That's to make sure everything is more stable. And in this case, the GUI can be out of date. That's no issue. The antivirus engine is actually very okay to be out of date. As long as the virus definitions are up to date, then you're good. Now what you have to do not click one of these buttons to do your scan. Home will just scan the Linux home folder. File will only scan one file. Directory will only scan one directory. That's not what we want. What we want is actually called a recursive scan, which means go through all the files and all the folders where it's selected. All you have to do is on the left hand side click the hard drive that's in question. In this case, there's a 28 gigabyte file system, which is our C drive on Windows. You can clearly see here documents and settings, program files, users, Windows. That's what you actually want. System reserved in Windows 7 is kind of like system restore. I wouldn't necessarily scan that. So all you do is you go ahead and click on the 28 gigabyte file system. You see the results up here. It should say something like media and then some long string of characters and numbers. And then when you're ready to go, just go ahead and hit OK. The other way you can do scans in Linux is via a web browser. Hear me out. Every web browser scan I like for a couple reasons. One, I know it's constantly up to date. Number two, I know there's no chance of this scanner being compromised because I'm running it in a live environment. I know it's always going to find everything possible that it can find. The first one I really like is the Kaspersky Online Scanner. Kaspersky Online Scanner. Go ahead and hit enter. Very first actual result down here, free virus scan, Kaspersky Lab. Go ahead and click the link, and then on the right side, down just a little bit, free online virus scan. Go ahead and click browse again, pick where you want it to scan, and then just go ahead and scan it. This one's not for the entire disk, but only for specific areas or files. I still like it. I scanned documents and settings folders and the Windows folders from here. It's a very good one. Okay, this next one is from EsetNod32. EsetNod32 Linux. The one we're looking for is Get the Best Antivirus for Linux link. And right here you can see there is a free 30-day trial. I will say it's a very simple installation. It's a .deb file. They do want you to activate it, and right here it says restart your Linux box. This cannot be installed in a live CD. This is only applicable on a full-blown desktop installation, and it is a 30-day trial. I have heard from technicians that said they installed it, used it for 30 days, uninstalled it, and reinstalled it, and it worked perfectly fine. It does say it's a trial license. It does remove viruses. It is a full trial. It just does not want to last more than 30 days. Okay. As it comes to malware scans, right now the Linux universe is very limited in what it can run for malware. Um, Wine, which is a application layer to let Windows applications run in Linux, you can run malware tools inside that, but it picks up Wine itself as being malware because it's not exactly what it's looking forward to when it's installed on Windows. Because of that, I do not suggest anyone runs any malware tools right now inside Wine. We're going to move on to the next video.